question. The FGC always stands for the fighting game community, and then idealistically stands for people striving to improve themselves, prove their worth, come together, have fun, compete, battle it out, all that kind of stuff, and try and achieve something that they have worked really hard for. So proving discipline, time management, all of those kinds of things together, and then hopefully resulting in bigger and better wins.
So other tournaments are a lot more competitive, and they're still welcoming, but I think the club here is more focused on like a casual setting, just kind of learning games. We play a lot of like non-popular games a lot of the times. Like we have popular games, of course, but we also have just really anything, and people can always come here and just play casuals, just press buttons, have fun, just hang out with some people, make friends. Just especially with like new incoming students, I think it's a good place for people to meet other people that are interested in fighting games, or they're coming from Smash and they want to try other kinds of video games out. And I think this is just a more casual and welcoming place for newcomers.
So T-Lock is involved in the local fighting games, Smash, 2D Fighter, whatever communities. We are the biggest organization in the region of Dallas-Fort Worth. So we run the largest weekly tournaments and majors around the state for Guilty Gear Strive, Melty Blood, Guilty Gear Xrd. We also do Tekken, we do Super Smash Bros. Melee, we do Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We do Super Smash Bros. 64 at some of our major events. So we just try to provide the greatest experiences we can. We want consistent excellence every single week, and every quarter when we run some of our majors around the state. We do Austin, we do San Antonio, we do Dallas, and we just try to provide a good, healthy environment and experience for everyone who wants to compete.
Generally speaking, I think Freaks and Yomi, we kind of do our job as just like being, I guess like a corner point, right? Because I like to think that the more locals in DFW and the more spread out they are, the more likely we are to like reach a broader audience and like introduce different people to the FGC fighting game community, whether that be like somebody that's in a college town like here. There's a bunch of new people that come in all the time, and so being able to introduce them that there is an active fighting game community, which then in turn introduces them to other tournaments that are in DFW, and it kind of creates like a good synergy between everyone. So I think the way that we fit in is we're just like a good starting point, just like every other tournament. It's a good starting point, good introductory point, and ours specifically, like our specialty is just running like the games that people do like to play that maybe didn't get enough attention before, like BB Tag, Grand Blue, Under Night, Central Fiction, but we always try to run something wacky at the end of each month. So like this month is Rock of Gods, or God of Rock, and that's it's an indie game that's coming out here soon, if not already out. And we're gonna be one of the first like premier tournaments for it. It'll be pretty cool.
I think the local scene is really important for players to kind of get used to like the pressure of an offline environment. There's a lot of factors that players don't think about whenever they are playing like right next to their opponent. A lot of people are starting to say that like online tournaments are kind of like the way to go, but like there's a whole different skill set that you get by sitting next to your opponent, by having to deal with like the noise or like how you're feeling that day, and I think like just that ability to be next to your opponent, be able to ask them questions even like if you win, if you lose, doesn't really matter. You can like talk to them, like get to know a bit more about what you need to do for your own game plan. I think that stuff is valuable that you can only really get in like a local offline environment.
Yeah, I've been coming out every week. We've been going to me and the other UNT students have been going to multiple tournaments a week, all preparing for Texas Showdown. Even the ones that aren't going are still just practicing just to support the rest of the friends. So yeah, we've been on it for a good, better part of the year.
I really do feel like it is the culture surrounding fighting games that I want to say there's a stronger camaraderie between people. In traditional sports, they're very structured. You have weekly practices, you have team get-togethers, you have scheduled events. In the FGC, it's come hang out, have fun. You know, it's very casual, it's very free flow. Because I mean, it just started with people getting together in like, you know, their house, their local community centers, or wherever they wanted to host tournaments. So, I mean, it is just the element of hanging out and having a good time. I mean, I feel like that's what attracts a lot of people at first, and then, you know, once you taste that first big victory that maybe you weren't expecting or you feel like you don't deserve, and you really feel like, okay, maybe I can do this.
So I think we've all gone to tournaments and like events, you know, mom and pop card shops that I do enjoy, mom and pop card shops, but a lot of times there's like an elitist mentality when you go somewhere new, whether that be like certain tournaments growing up. I kind of felt like if I didn't know someone there, just like I didn't have a chance to talk to anyone. So the thing that we like to do here is I like to make sure I'm presenting some sort of like welcoming attitude. And like if I see someone new, like telling them, hey, what's up, interact with us, here's how you follow us, here's how you get a hold of us, here's how you become part of our community, that's like a good starting point. And then another thing that I like to do specifically is whenever people are playing, at the end of the night, whenever there's more setups and people are watching like the finals on the streams and stuff, kind of like prodding them and poking them into playing with new people. So I'll see someone new sitting there and be like, hey, you should go play with this person. I think you guys would have fun and get some experience with each other. So I like to do stuff like that, and really just, I guess, be welcoming. That's the big thing, is try to be as welcoming as possible, and like trying to get people to want to come back. Not just because of like numbers or something like that, because like I feel it's important for everybody in this world to have a place where they feel like they fit in, they can be part of, as opposed to just, you know, existing online and stuff like that. So much has just gone online, fighting games and everything. But I always strive to like build a sense of community between people, and I think that's one of the most important things that you can do.
My favorite memory in the FGC is not even at a major, it is at this local, at No Blocking. I mean, just to go into some personal history, I played and competed in Melee for 6 to 7 years, and I never really kind of had that one big moment that I was, you know, that I was just talking about, where I was like, oh, okay, like I can do this. This is something like maybe I'm getting good at. It was here at No Blocking. I had it. I made an upset that I was really not supposed to make, and I came back from like the deepest steps that you can go before you're about to lose, and I pulled it all the way back and clutched out a victory. And I literally like put my head down in my hands and like sat there for a minute and took it all in, and then I just had a huge smile on my face for like 10 minutes after.
I think my favorite FGC moments are just being able to actually see the local talent make it to those big stages. Like cheering on the homies when they're, you know, whether it may be like on Twitch or in person, cheering on like our local people, you know? That's one of my favorite things to do in any kind of big tournament, especially in person. It's always fun to see. Like, I love competing, I love playing casuals with people and like getting stuff down, but I think it's like the outside of tournament bonds that you also build. You know, like hanging out with these people outside of the tournaments, which is another reason why tournaments are cool. It helps build a sense of community both in the tournament setting and outside the tournament setting. So, you know, my favorite part about events like that are hanging out with people, you know, building closer bonds with all these people, and then cheering people on and getting cheered on whenever you're going to these things. Like having that real tight sense of community. When you go somewhere and everyone's cheering DFW or Texas or something like that, and it just brings everyone together. And I think that's my favorite part, is just bringing everyone together.